I was going to ask you a question about what you're going to offer those soft nationalist voters who are apparently heading over to Labour in advance of this election. But I listened to you on a podcast this morning. I was driving in, and you were asked the question, what one power would you give the Scottish Parliament? You said, I'll give you two. I would give enhanced borrowing powers and I would give immigration reform. And you said, we can maintain a single UK Home Office and border agency, but if you have two governments working together, you can find a Scottish solution to Scottish problems. What are you saying there? We could have a separate immigration policy under a Labour government in Scotland. We could get people back in who were doing the jobs in our restaurant, hospitality sector, for example. They could come back from Europe, say.
So what I was saying was, you may recall, Martin, when Jack McConnell was First Minister, he negotiated a deal with a UK Labour government for a scheme known as the Fresh Talent Scheme that identified a skills issue here in Scotland, and he found a Scottish solution to a Scottish problem that was unique to Scotland in order to get more people those support they needed. And what I want to do is, yes, we're going to see us reform the Migration Advisory Committee where Scotland will have more direct representation. Of course, we need to reform our UK immigration system, which is currently so broken. But what I want to see us develop between 2024 and 2026 is Fresh Talent 2.
Okay.
How do we identify the areas where we can maintain that single border agency, that single UK Home Office, but find a Scottish solution to a Scottish problem, demonstrating the best of cooperation between two governments that delivers for Scottish people, rather than the conflict between two governments that ultimately fails the Scottish people, which we currently have under the SNP and the Tories.
We are out of time, Mr Sarwar. Let me just ask you this one very straight question. Are you in discussion with UK Labour about organising, and will there be a separate Scottish immigration policy if Keir Starmer's in Downing Street?
Well, as I say, I've just laid out to you, we will go into the election in 2024.
That's going to happen, is it?
Setting out how we will. No, one second, we will set out in 2024 how we reform the UK immigration system, how we get fairness back into that UK immigration system, and then beyond 2024, I want to work in cooperation with them to develop what a Fresh Talent 2 scheme could look like, and that's something we will be sharing more details on as we work through that programme.